The change history system has been around in the Community Information module for a while, but is new to the Volunteer Opportunities module in CIOC version 3.5. Change history records various versions of each field as they change over time. When a record is updated, the display version of a field is compared with the last known version of the display of that field, and if it is different in any way, even just an extra space, it will record a copy of the new display version of the field in the change history system, along with a record of the user that initiated the change and the date and time of the change. Change history information is currently accessible only through the record update form. Those without record update privileges are not permitted to see the change history, and you can only see the change history for fields and records that you are allowed to update. At the top of the record update form, the past changes to this record section allows you to launch a pop-up that lists the dates on which the record was modified and the user that made the modification. If the record you are updating is available in more than one language, you will see a separate link for each language. The Change by Record pop-up allows you to click on a date of a change to view a list of the fields that were altered as part of the change. Clicking the field will bring you down to the part of the data entry form for editing that particular field. The pop-up can be moved around the page as needed, and you can continue to use the form with the pop-up open. Use the X in the right corner to dismiss the pop-up. You can view the list of changes to a specific field over time by clicking the field history icon next to the field. Clicking the icon will launch the field history pop-up. As with the changes by record pop-up, the changes by field pop-up can be moved around the page as needed, and you can continue to use the form with the pop-up open. The pop-up can also be resized and closed. When initially loaded, the pop-up will show the last known version of the field in the current language. This should be the currently saved version. You can change the language, if applicable, by selecting from the drop-down menu. Selecting a new value from the revision date will update the display to show the state of the field of that particular revision. The Change by Field pop-up also includes an optional Compare With drop-down that allows you to see how a field has changed over time. Select any revision from the Compare With drop-down, and the specific additions or deletions that were made will be shown. Usually, you want to have the newer revision in the revision date drop-down and the older version in the Compare With drop-down. Items that were added will appear in green, while items that were removed appear in red with a strike through. Change history can be a very useful tool for those tasked with record translation. Rather than reviewing the translation of the entire record each time, the change history system allows you to pinpoint specific changes to the record that have occurred since the last time the record was translated. Take note of the update date or modified date. Using the list changes by record, review the changes that have occurred since the record was last updated and/or modified. You can click on the list of fields modified to jump down to the specific fields in which changes were made. Using the list of changes by field, use the version comparison tool to see the specific edits that were made to the field. You'll want to do this in the language you're translating from. For some types of fields that auto-translate information, including checklists and drop-downs, the changes may have been made automatically and no further action will be required.